Okay. Hi. It's a big election night. Trump is in Asia. There's a lot going on. Let's get on with the show. All right, as we are waiting for Facebook and everybody else to catch up with us, because you're ahead of the game, of course, as usual, do me a favor. Would you please check in? Let me know who you are and where you are a deplorable from. Yeah, we'll be going about, 60 seconds or so. Have the cool little music going on. We'll get started. Chris is from Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, Chris, how you doing? A lot of the folks checking in. And I always love to hear from you. La, la, la. Okay, get ready. We're going to start the show. The official show start comes up in just a second. Here we go. Call the neighbors. Wake the kids. We are about to start this program. Bum, bum.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. That's a direct order. Do it now.
He's been put down, ripped off, cut open. Now he's unleashed. Unleashed. The American insurgency starts now. This is Rusty Humphries, Rebellion Radio.
Hello, my brother from another mother. How are you, my sister from another mister? Hello, welcome. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We are powered by Right Wing News. We love the guys at Right Wing News. They are wonderful folks. We also, my headphones are not very loud tonight. What's going on here? I'm going to start hitting stuff. Oh, well. How's that? There's a little bit better for me. I hope you're doing okay tonight. The Republicans not doing so great in the election. Tonight's a big election across the country. Not where I'm at. I'm in Arizona. I don't think we have much going on at all. Nothing that important. But let's take a look at what's going on across the country and some of the things that are happening. We go to our least favorite network, but they let us know who they are, and we'll get your check-ins in just a second. But this is what's happening in Virginia.
That Ralph Northam, the lieutenant governor of Virginia, will be elected governor of Virginia, beating the Republican candidate Ed Gillespie. The Democrats continue to win in Virginia. Ralph Northam will be the next governor of Virginia. Let's go over to Brianna Keeler. She's over at Northam headquarters right now. The projection has been made. Brianna.
Well, and there's a delay here, Wolf, so it's about to be made, and you're going to hear this crowd going wild right now. But they were going wild earlier when you asked John King, could Gillespie come back from this, and he said no. There were a lot of nerves coming from Democrats backing Ralph Northam, and that was because they thought the social issues, Confederate monuments, might actually play in favor of Ed Gillespie. And in the end, they feel like it didn't, that he would have benefited if he'd stuck to more of an economic message. And then in the end, sort of going towards more of the culture wars and some of the positions backed by President Trump didn't do Ed Gillespie well, but they were certainly worried that it could be the reverse, Wolf.
Okay, so not a good night for Republicans. We'll get to some of the other things. Again, this is not a huge surprise. I'm not like going, oh, my gosh, the world's ending. Now, of course, Democrats, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, oh, this is a big Trump is finally, it's over for Republicans. They might as well, I mean, according to Democrats, us Republicans, we might as well just stop running in elections ever again. Just give up. We could do that, I guess, according to them. Let's do some check-ins. Hey, my old friend Randy is here. Randy is from Gilbert, Arizona. Actually, Randy's one of my daughter's former teachers and one of her all-time favorites. So, Randy, always good to see you, brother. We need to catch up. Let's see. Carol checking in from Delaware. Glad I'm safe. It is very good to be back in America. I will tell you. Very, very good to be back home. Rick is in Georgia. Jerry is in Colorado. Daniel's here from San Antonio, Texas. Frankie is here from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Frankie, looks like you got yourself a new governor. And, again, one of these guys, I don't know. I can't imagine voting for a guy like that. And it looks like Bill de Blasio, the commie mayor of New York City, won again. Hey, New York, you know what? More taxes, right? Good for you. Good for you. Let's see here. Lee is here from Canada. How's it going, eh? You hoser? You probably never heard that joke before, ever. Sandra's in Tampa. Brooke is in PA. Eastwood is in Oregon. Sammy is in Wikiwacky, Florida. Sammy, how you doing? Logan is in Yorktown, Texas. Prince James in Long Beach, California. Gayla is in Southwest Missouri. Vivian is saying, hey, from Aiken, South Carolina. Jason checking in from Georgia. Chris is deplorable from Russellville, Arkansas. Don is from Wyoming. Jack is an Aussie deplorable now living in Henrietta, Texas. Gene's in Mississippi. Robert in Dayton. Trevor is from Carson, Nevada. Monty says, what's an election? Janice says from Alabama. Everett checking in. Barbara's from Washington State. Arlene from California. Mike from Nashville. Chris from North Carolina. David from Illinois. Hobart from Harlan, Texas. Dennis from Central VA, and a lot more. Sheila is from Georgia. Brenda's from Maryland. Daniel says, hey, Rusty. All right, guys, I appreciate all of you. Glenn is an Alabama deplorable veteran in Boise, Idaho tonight. Okay, I will try to catch up with everybody else. Let's see here. Bob says, Norton's not my governor. All right, let's take a look at some of the things that are going on tonight in the election. It is not a good night for Republicans. Taking a look at everybody's favorite website, the Drudge Report, looks like the Dems have clapped back. Election 27, parties watch for whiter signals. Virginia, Northam beats Gillespie. Trump says Ed did not embrace me. Oh, this one's interesting. I did not know about this one. You know, I have not been following the elections that much. I don't know. I know it was big for a lot of people. It wasn't big in Arizona, and so kind of I've been working about other stuff. But did you see this one? And you know what? Either you'll go, golly jeepers, this one's awesome because you could say you're diverse. Or you can go, okay, here's the story. Danica Rome elected Virginia's first transgender state legislator. Danica Rome is a journalist turned public works advocate, has won Virginia's 13th District House of Delegates seat, making her the state's first transgender legislator. Rome beat out the district's 26-year incumbent, conservative values and government transparency champion Bob Marshall. The race between Rome 33 and Marshall 73 focused on traffic and other issues in Prince William County, but exposed the nation's fault lines over gender identity. It picked a local journalist who began her physical transgender 4 years ago against an outspoken social conservative who has referred himself as Virginia's chief homophobe earlier this year and introduced a bathroom bill that died in the committee. Okay. I don't care whether you're gay or straight, transtestical, whatever. I don't care. Having surgery to modify your body, I don't know, to change your sex, it seems a little extreme to me, but what do I know? We're at a point now, I mean, I want to ask you, is it just time to just start saying, well, hey, if you want to change your sex, you change your sex. It's no big deal anymore. Is that the enlightened position? Or are we as a nation just going to hell in a handbasket? Now, I don't care if this person, Dan or Danica or whatever the name is. Now, my first question is did I as a taxpayer have to pay for the surgery? I know I did for one of the biggest traders in the history of the world. What's that dude's name that's now a woman? Manning? Yeah. I don't get why we got to pay for that dude's sex change. And then he's out walking around because Obama, hey, just because he's the biggest trader in history, so what? He's a woman now, so let's just let him go. Chris says, have any advice on how a single father can teach his kids the truth about real Americans? They go to a school that praises the NFL kneelers. Teach my kids that only Black lives matter. I'm so frustrated. Well, Chris, I'm a single father too. And believe me, I understand. My daughter is going to a public school right now that is, what's the word? It is, awful. Absolutely awful. It is embarrassingly bad. And so I'm looking at taking her out of that school. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I mean, I'm a single dad. I got to work. I mean, homeschooling is not something that I'm able to do, but I may have to look into it. What you have to do, and what I've found I have to do, is sit down and say, okay, we'll talk about whatever issue it is. And say, okay, what is it that they're teaching you in school? And they spout that party line, whatever it is. And then you say, let me tell you a different side of the story. Now, one of the things that conservatives do wrong, and I've been talking about that quite a bit here on the show, one of the things conservatives do wrong is we use a lot of facts and figures. And why those are important, we also have to make sure that we tell it in a story that touches people on an emotional level, especially kids. And so you have to talk with them. Sometimes you have to treat Democrats like children. Sorry. But you have to tell them the truth. As Daniel says, Chris, keep the eye on the prize. Have faith. Don't get distracted to not love. Randy says, right, I wonder how many explain to the kids that was once a guy or a girl and that they are okay to date. Linda says, you can't change your sex. All you can do is mutilate your body or inject or ingest things that someday may cause you serious health issues. It is about telling the truth and doing it in a positive, honest way. Let me tell you something else that's positive and honest, and that is, we all need to have healthy lives. And do you ever take probiotics? I have, and then I stopped, and now I'm taking them again. Because there's new research that shows that the wrong bacteria in your gut can make you feel anxious and stressed and irritable, even sad. And there are countless of studies that have just come out, including a breakthrough from Oxford University, showing that a certain probiotic bacteria can help improve your mood and how you deal with your anxious feelings and stress and sadness. Probiogen has a new product. It's the Probiogen Stress and Mood Balance Probiotic. And this probiotic, Probiogen, in this pink container with the shiny blue label, is specially formulated to help improve your mood. Now, after a day like this, I may be just chugging this stuff down. It's going to improve my mood. Woo! Okay. Probiogen uses the right probiotics and herbs plus minerals that influence the release of neurotransmitters to help improve your ability to cope with stress and anxious situations. So if you're feeling sad or anxious or stressed, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go to Walgreens or a Harmon store and get yourself Probiogen Stress and Mood Balance Probiotic. It is in the Probiogen is in the pink and green box at the supplement aisle, and you can go online to probiogen.com to find out more. It is a great product, and I've been taking it, and I do notice I do notice the difference. All right, let's see what is on your mind today. Luong says, it's interesting that Northam, that's the guy that just won the election in Virginia, won by less than 200,000 votes, and that's the number that McAuliffe granted voting rights to felons by executive order. Megan says, not here for a sale. Well, Megan, so are you a communist? I'm not a communist. I'm a capitalist. I have to feed my family. I'm giving you a program for free. And so sometimes I tell you about great products that are going to do you a benefit. You don't have to buy them, but it is, look at this. Chris is right. Probiotics are directly related to all sorts of things in the body. If they're out of whack, you can have a plethora of issues. You're absolutely right. So I don't tell you about products that suck. I tell you about good things. You can use them or not. Okay? This is the capitalist way. A communist would say, well, I want it all for free and give me food and clothing and shelter from the government. I'm not doing that. Well, you think Mark Zuckerberg's going to give me money? He's got plenty he's got to give to communist organizations. So I'm here as a capitalist telling you the truth each night and doing it for free for you. But I'm telling you about some great products, okay? Jay says, was voter fraud involved in Northam winning? Bet you can find some. Bob says, can we impeach him? So basically, you guys are all going after the way the Democrats treated Trump. Totally understand it. It is, it's one of those nights where Republicans didn't do so well. Partially because I think the Republican base has been a bit tired having to defend Republicans that won't stand up to do the right thing. Obamacare should have been repealed and replaced. Wasn't. Tax cuts should have happened. Hasn't. The agenda of Republicans has not been done. And you got to wonder, so why the hell should we vote for a Republican? At least Democrats will promise pie in the sky. Nothing will ever get done. But Republicans have been lying to us. So, of course, they're going to lose this midterm. Let's see. Randy says, I'm trying to figure out why some people come on to watch you and then say stupid, rude things like the no sale crap. Good question, Randy. I want to know it, too. If you don't like it, change the channel. Oh, wait a second. You're on the internet. There's nothing else to watch. It's only this show. By the way, would you do me a favor? If you're having a good time watching the program, would you give me some thumbs ups and some hearts? And most importantly, because we got to go around the Facebook algorithms and stuff, we got to show engagement. And so if you'd share the video, let people know that this is an okay show to watch. And we're going to keep you up to date on the news, okay? Vicky says, Nebraska, sad for the disrespect and hatred towards our president. I agree with you, Vic. Doug thinks the Democrats are anti-American, that's for sure. Daniel says, LOL, hashtag impeach. All right. Donald Trump being asked questions about the shooting in Texas. And, of course, it doesn't matter what the president says. The left isn't going to like it. But, so if the left isn't going to like it, let's put it on. Here we go. And, of course, as soon as I do it, it doesn't work. Oh. And they tried to put a virus on me, too. See, I've got an Apple. And look what it done. Look at this. So whenever an Apple, you see this, I learned this the hard way. When it says you got to upgrade a flash player or something, do not do it. Don't upgrade. I'm just going to click out of that before I get a total. Don't upgrade an Apple. Your app, your computer will do it for you if you have an Apple computer. All right. Chris says, people are getting sick of Republicans promising for the last 9 years and not delivering jack squat. You are correct. Ed's enjoying the show. Bob's giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Oh, here's another story that we should cover. Laura Loomer is a friend of ours. She's been on the show a number of times. She's become quite the investigative reporter and spent a lot of time up in, if you don't recall, she is the one that when they were doing the Shakespeare play of Julius Caesar, and they were making Julius Caesar look like Donald Trump, and then they assassinated him. In the middle of that show, she got up and started yelling, "Shame, shame." Got thrown out. That was pretty good. Laura Loomer is also the young lady that stood in line to get her book autographed by Hillary Clinton and then started asking her about Benghazi. That was good. The other one was recently, she has been pretty much the best investigative reporter in the shooting in Las Vegas. Well, now she's got herself in trouble. She's been on the show a number of times. I've known her for quite a while. This is what's happening with her. It's fascinating here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. This woman went on an anti-Muslim rant after the New York City truck attack. She wrote, "Muslims are out in full force at the scene in New York City ISIS attack today, rubbing in everyone's faces." She took a picture. You'd think they'd have the decency not to walk around in hijabs and cross the street. Laura Loomer then targeted Muslim bus drivers in New York. "Someone needs to create a non-Islamic form of Uber or Lyft because I never want to support another Islamic immigrant driver." Uber and Lyft responded by banning her. She says she will sue the companies. Loomer is a far-right activist who calls herself a proud American Jew and is an avid supporter of Donald Trump. So here's the question. Did she go too far? Is that too far saying, you know what, I'd like to go and not be able to support Islamic guys in a Lyft or Uber? Is that just maybe 1-2 steps too far? Jason thinks Laura Loomer is the bomb. Matthew says, religious freedom much? Kay says, go Laura, she tells it the way it is. So you would support that. I mean, there is one thing here. Matthew says one thing. He's right. The religious freedom much? I mean, Muslims do have a right to religious freedom, just as you have the right to be a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu or an atheist or whatever it is. But here's the thing. Laura doesn't think she went too far. Michael doesn't think she went too far. Glenn agrees with it. Peter agrees. Michael says she could do as she pleases. See, here's the one thing that Laura did. You may disagree, but like Mike just said, no, she lives in a free country. Now, not just a free country, but she has the right to say what it is she wants to say. The problem is that the PC police are so strong that they don't care about your First Amendment rights. They don't care about your freedom. You better be in lockstep. And I'm sorry, Uber and Lyft are wrong to ban Laura Loomer. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that. I guess they just got to block her app, and maybe she'll get a different app. Maybe she won't want to use them again. The problem with this country is, for some reason, it's not okay to be different. See, isn't that what the left always talks about? Oh, yes, I want to be different. I want to be unique. I want to have my own point of view. I want to do whatever it is I want to do. No, you don't. You want to be in lockstep with every other idiot around you. You don't want to learn about the issues, you on the left. You want to follow. You want to be told what to say, how to say it, what to feel, when to feel it. And then you want to follow along like the useful idiot that you are. And then you wonder why the country is going to hell. And the country is going to hell. Susie says if they want to kill us, we have the right to boycott their services, right? Reese says they care about their First Amendment rights, but not you or me. Michael says one of the principles of invading Islam is to decry Islamophobia. Chris says, I don't agree with Nazis, but if they're in America, they have a right to express themselves however they choose. By the way, for all the talk of Nazis, have you ever met one? I mean, seriously, have you ever met a guy that goes, yeah, I think Hitler's great. Jawohl. Yeah, I want more Klan. Have you ever met a Nazi or ever met anybody that's in the Klan? I know I sure as hell haven't. I'm just curious. And that's the thing in the media right now, and the Antifa guys. Everybody that voted for Trump is a member of the Klan. Everybody that voted for Trump is a Nazi. I never met one. Michelle says, so we aren't PC. We aren't stupid either. It's okay to be different, but it's not okay that every single Muslim we hear about is because they've done something to an American. How much do you think we are going to take of this? It's kind of like what I talked about last night. It's not just Islamic terrorists. We have homegrown political terrorists happening right now. To the point where if it doesn't stop, and I hope stops soon, all those people that believe in the Second Amendment might be taking up those arms, and God forbid. I'm not ready for a second American Civil War. I can't imagine. I mean, think about how many people died in the Civil War. Just in the Battle of Antietam, more people were killed, and they were all Americans. More people were killed in one battle. I think it lasted like 3 days. Than in all of Vietnam. All American soldiers in Vietnam. And that's when we had, cannonballs and guns that barely fired. Can you imagine what it would be like today? I know and there are some people, we should do it. We should go and kick some ass and blah, blah. Guys, I've seen war up close. I've been in Iraq and Afghanistan and seen people, and it's not like the movies. It's horrific. It's horrific. And what I don't understand is why we have so many politicians, and they are coming from the left right now, that want to divide this country so much that they're willing to risk a modern-day American Civil War just because Hillary Clinton didn't win an election? Just because they don't like Donald Trump? Just because if Trump does what he says he's going to do, it's going to take away some power and some money from the elites? Don't worry about the elites. You guys will be fine. You always find a way to take a little taste. But damn. It ain't worth American lives. I'm being corrected. Matthew says, whoops, I just lost it. So Matthew says Antietam was, hold on. Antietam was 1 day. Gettysburg was 3. Sorry, history nerd alert. Thank you, Matthew. I was doing that off the top of my head. I did not do an Antietam study today. So I do appreciate that because I always want the truth. And if I'm wrong about something, unlike most people in the media, I don't mind being corrected. I want the truth out there. It's as simple as that. Barbara says, New Jersey just stopped circling the toilet and was officially flushed tonight. Phil Murphy has won. Ran on a platform of raising taxes. Yeah. I was going to say I don't understand, but I am starting to understand. I do understand why we're having this move to socialism and bigger government. Part of it is because we have young people who, were 8 years old when Barack Obama, or even 7 now. And they lived through this economy that never got better, never got better, never got better, never got better, never got better. College tuitions kept going up and up and up and up and up. Student loans. parents in worse situations than, the Great Depression. And you got these people, you got Bernie Sanders and his buddies going, don't worry, we'll take care of you. Free college, we got you covered. Free health care. It's going to be free. Woo! It's free. It's going to be awesome. And they're preaching this to the children in the room. Now, there are 50, 60, 80-year-old children. But it's the adults in the room, you and me, that say, wait a second. We can't afford this. We wish we could. I wish we could give everybody free college. I do. I wish we could give everybody a free house. I wish everybody could have a free mansion. I think everybody should have a free Rolls Royce or a Tesla or whatever it is you want. But it doesn't work. And the Democrat Party is lying. And people say, well, listen, I'm a Democrat, and I don't think they're lying. Listen, if you're just a regular guy, gal, you're a worker, and you think you're a Democrat, that Democrat Party is not the same Democrat Party as your parents or grandparents. They're not. These are hardcore socialists. And let's be honest, socialist is just a nice way of saying commie. Because they've done a very good job of changing the story, changing the narrative, changing the meaning of the words. They are all about big government taking over. And the only ones that big government taking over serve are those in the power position. So, of course, those politicians love this because they're the ones that are going to do great. And you know what? I saw it up close and personal in Romania, where they are starving for America and democracy and freedom and a republic like ours. And they're just starting to come out of this whole Russian-influenced communism that they had to go through for years and years under Ceausescu and other horrible leaders. And it was a disaster. And America is the shining example on the hill, and we are the country that brings freedom and light. And when America does better, the world does better. And for some damn reason, excuse my language, for some reason, these Democrats think but the idea of demoralizing America and America greatness is going to somehow be good for everybody. It's no longer high tide lifts all ships. It's let's just sink every ship. And I'm not going for that ride, if you ask me. I'm not interested in that ride. Neil thinks the Democrat Party must be dismantled and their followers must need to be re-educated or we all be doomed. I don't like using those terms, re-educated. That's where it kind of gets scary. But, hey, what do I know? We have been re-educated. We have elected a transgender government official. Guy that says he's a girl now. I remember not too long ago, I was a talk show host in Reno, Nevada. And these people came to my show and they say, and this is off the air. And I put them on the air. We are looking to do a constitutional amendment to the Nevada Constitution. Okay, well, what is it you want to do? We want to make it so that it will be illegal in Nevada for anyone who is gay to be married. You want to do what? Yeah, we want it to be a constitutional amendment that gay marriage will not be legal in Nevada. Who's talking about gay marriage? What are you talking about? Gay people getting married? It's not going to happen. No, Rusty, we believe it's going to happen. It'll happen in a state in like Maine or something, and then we would have to recognize that in Nevada, and we want to make it a constitutional amendment that marriage would not be recognized in Nevada. Guys, seriously, why do you want to waste radio time on something that's never going to happen. I mean, never. What? Gay people getting married? That's not going to happen. What did I know, right? Now it's as normal as any other marriage today. Now we have men dressed as women. I don't know what the equipment has been changed or not. They're officially in office now, just got elected. Am I behind the times? Maybe it's better for the country. Maybe this diversity thing is great. Everybody, do what it is you want. If you want to pretend to be a woman, if you're a man, do it. If you want to dress whatever way, you want to go to whatever bathroom, you go ahead and do it. That's America. Or do we say, what line don't we cross? And people say, well, they'll never cross, pedophilia. That's never going to happen. Ask Jared from Subway. He's sitting in jail. That's never. Really? There are people trying to do it right now. Oh, that's never going to happen, Rusty. I'm not so sure of it. Then we have the gun thing. And it doesn't matter what is said. It doesn't matter what is done. It doesn't matter that the idiot that shot up that church didn't have those guns legally. That there was a mistake. Nope. We got to get rid of the guns. Got to get rid of them. President Trump talking about it. Here's what he had to say.
I think that mental health is your problem here. This was a very, based on preliminary reports, very deranged individual. A lot of problems over a long period of time. We have a lot of mental health problems in our country, as do other countries. But this isn't a guns situation. I mean, we could go into it, but it's a little bit soon to go into it. But fortunately, somebody else had a gun that was shooting in the opposite direction. Otherwise, it would have been as bad as it was. It would have been much worse. But this is a mental health problem at the highest level. It's a very, very sad event. These are great people and a very, very sad event. But that's the way I view it.
All right. He's absolutely right. It is a sad event. And it is a mental health issue. I mean, this guy was a grade A a-hole, right? Let's be honest here. This guy beat his wife. He fractured the skull of his baby. Did you hear that one? I mean, oh my God. He was he spent a year in jail in the Air Force, and then the Air Force just forgot to put that on the Federal Registry. This is crazy stuff. Randy says, this gun thing, I've said for 2 days is about mental illness, but all my liberal friends keep telling me it's a gun issue. Ugh. I'll tell you something else I saw on TV I couldn't believe. I'm all over the place tonight. It's election night. Republicans got their asses whooped. It's okay. We're just talking tonight. So, I see this over and over and over again now. And Democrats, you guys, you're really doing yourself a disservice. I'll have the Republican on one side and the liberal on the other side. Fox News. It's coming out that Hillary Clinton, they're talking about the Donna Brazile book, and that Hillary took over the Democrat Party basically by paying the bills and quid pro quo. It was disgusting what she did. And then the uranium deal and the Clinton Foundation, all these things. And I've heard this 5-10 times in the past few days. The first thing the Democrat says is, and they got a piece of paper and they're reading right from it, but they've memorized it. Democrat says, I don't even know why we are talking about Hillary Clinton. Hillary did not win the election. Donald Trump won the election. Why are we going backwards to talk about Hillary Clinton, who didn't even win the election? And I want to go, are you really that stupid? You're talking about a former senator a former Secretary of State, the nominee for President of the United States of the Democrat Party, who was married to a two-term president. The list of crimes, if it was single-spaced and it was a font of 8 or 10, it would go all the way down my arm. And the Democrats' best response is, well, she didn't win, so why do you even care? Maybe they should quote Hillary. What difference at this point does it make? What difference? It makes a big friggin' difference. Corruption is bad on either side of the aisle. Stealing is bad. Trying to rig elections is bad. Dealing with the enemy like Russia is bad. Robert says, Fast and Furious, baby, Fast and Furious. Remember that scandal? Probably not. Of course I remember. You know, it is shocking to me that the Democrats are so swayed by politics that they don't care what their politicians do. You got Menendez of New Jersey in court fighting for his life right now. Not literally his life, but his freedom. He's been in court for months. Shh, don't talk about that. Al Gore ripping off the whole world with his global warming hoax. I mean, just think of the Democrat politicians. Charlie Rangel and his tax fraud. Anthony Weiner showing his wiener. Now he's in prison. Went to prison yesterday. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And what did Democrats say? Yeah, I don't know why you're going after that Anthony Weiner. He lost the election. Just because he was sexting with a 15-year-old girl, that doesn't affect his causes. Or how about Bill Clinton, who went, I believe, 26 times to the sex island on the private plane of the guy that's been convicted of basically trafficking women for sex. Bill Clinton went 26 times, but I'm sure never saw anything with the girls. Nothing. He ain't know nothing. And by the way, why should I even care about Bill Clinton? He hasn't been president for a long time, so why worry about it? He's out of office. My friends, there are a lot more important things than just politics. There's character, and there's honor, and there's ethics, and there's doing the right thing for the country. I'm not saying everybody's got to be a choir boy and that you got to be perfect. But when your goal is to rip off the American people, and you've got a whole party that condones them, Democrats, look in the mirror. You got something wrong. You are off, guys. You're off. You know, Bill de Blasio, a guy that went over to Germany to go and protest America, and you idiots in New York just voted him back into office? Are you friggin' kidding me? They got wax in their ears. They can't hear anything. You know what they need? That's right, my friends. They need Wax RX. Now, you can clean your ears at home with a system like doctors use, and you should. There's nothing worse than wax in your ears. You can't hear nothing. It makes you dizzy. It's not fun. It's awful. You got to go to the doctor. It's a mess. You don't want to do that. You don't want the doc. You don't want the cute nurse, whether it's a guy or a girl, whoever you are. You don't want them seeing that junk falling out of your ear. It looks like, you don't even want to know what it looks like. If you've never had it, it's gross. It's awful. But with Wax RX, you can do it at home with the same system like doctors use. It's very simple. It's all here in this box. You can see the picture, see what it does. It's very simple. All you got to do is go to waxrx.com, look for the code word Rusty, put that in. That's me. I'm Rusty. You can see it's right there on the screen if you're listening, or if you're reading if you've got the podcast, you can see it right on your phone. Rusty Humphries, my name. Use my name, Rusty. Waxrx.com. 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 Randy says he couldn't have said it any better. I don't know, Randy is a very, very talented music teacher. Very talented. He is good at whipping those kids into shape. Man, they fear him, yet they love him at the same time. Randy, I've never seen anything like it. I've never told you this to your face. Never seen anything like it. He whips them into shape, and they're scared because you know what it is? They don't want to let him down. They have that much respect for Randy. He's one of those great teachers that we wish were still out there. There's not a ton of them. I know where my daughter's school today, there's none I've seen. I'm sure there's maybe one or two. But Randy is one of those rare teachers, one of those rare people that he loves it. He loves it. He may have loved his motorcycle more, which he crashed and almost killed himself. Heard he got a new car. Good for you. But this is a guy that lives and breathes doing the right thing for his kids. And I loved watching him. I loved watching the way his students reacted. I loved the way my daughter talked about him. Hey, sweetheart, why don't we go do this? Oh, I can't. No, Mr. Thorne, we got work to do. I got to be ready for this. And it made me proud. And Randy, we need more teachers like you. We do. Janet says, you are an American treasure, Rusty. Oh, now you aren't over the top, but thank you. My kind of integral human being with character who's unafraid to stand up and fearlessly and boldlessly speak the truth. Follow suit, people. Stand up. Speak the truth. Amen, sister. Don says there's no character in Democrats. Don, I want to be real clear. There are great people that are Democrats. There are. Friends of yours, colleagues, co-workers. What I find with those folks is that they don't pay a lot of attention to politics. They got other things going on. They're busy. They got kids. They got jobs. They got a mortgage. They got to pay the car. Maybe they got a boat. They got other things going on. They got hobbies. And God bless them for it. And maybe they turn on CNN every once in a while, or they watch the local news. Which, by the way, you ever watch the local news? I find it unwatchable. Okay, today a dog got saved because he found a steak and ate too much of it and he got sick. So the local sheriff's department came down. I mean, just give me your friggin' right. It's no news there. And so they don't follow politics, and it's okay. But the problem is they're being lied to. The truth is being spun just a little bit. The story changed just a little bit. Like, again, I'll give you a good example. I talked about this yesterday. Yesterday, the outrage was Trump was with the Prime Minister of Japan. They were feeding koi fish, and Trump tried to kill him because he fed him too much. Paraphrasing here. Okay? They forgot just one part of the story. So in the video, they show the Prime Minister of Japan. He's got his little thing of probiogen. Available at Walmart and Walgreens. Anyway, but no, he had a little box, and you can see him with a little spoon, and he's feeding the koi. Here, little koi. Here, little koi. Here you go. Feed a little bit. Just a little bit. A little taste. And he says, okay, Mr. President Trump, why'd you do it? President Trump goes, here you go. That's good stuff. That's excellent. That's the best koi food you ever had, right there. And then the president of Japan does it again, just a little teeny taste. Trump does a little teeny taste again. And then they both got bored because they're going, we're feeding friggin' fish when we got to take care of America and Japan. So hold on a second. Skip that ad. So the Prime Minister of Japan goes, yeah, I'm too busy. I got stuff to do. Here you go, koi, take the rest. And Trump goes, oh, well, the Prime Minister of Japan does it. I guess I can do it too. Here you go, koi. I don't care. I got better things to do. I got to make America great again. Right? But CNN doesn't show the Japanese Prime Minister going like this. They just show him going, here, little koi. Here, little Coy. And then they cut to Trump. I'm going to kill all of you. I hate you, Coy. You guys aren't Americans. Just go and eat too much and starve and die. Die, I say. I hate you. All they missed was like 2 seconds of video of the Prime Minister of Japan. That was it. Or Matthew brings up a good thing. Don, I'll say hello in just a second. Matthew brings up a good thing. When Obama goes over and visits Japan, he does the big... Prime Minister, hello. Let me bow as far as I can down. Let me subjugate myself and my people. Right? The American president doesn't bow. And Trump goes, hey, how you doing? Right? How you doing? Stands up, stands tall. We're friggin' America. We don't bow to anybody. And Obama bowed, and that wasn't even a story. All right. Don has asked me a favor. Rusty, can you say hello to my father, Glenn? He is an 82-year-old Korean vet, first-time listener. Glenn, how are you, my friend? Welcome. I appreciate your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. You know, my father was killed in Vietnam when I was young. But one of the stories that I learned was I don't know how I did it. He lied to the military, joined the army at 14, and was shipped to Korea, and was Soldier of the Month in his platoon at 16 years old in Korea. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how any of you guys did it. Again, I went to Iraq. I went to Afghanistan as a journalist. I saw some nasty stuff. But I was never as awesome as a guy like you. So, Glenn, thank you very much, again, for your service to our country. And all you veterans. You know, Veterans Day is coming up. And we don't honor our vets enough. You know that. I know that. Hey, we got sales going on, though. Big sale at the furniture store. It's the Veterans Day sale. Veterans Day, 50% off. Why? Well, it's for puppies and kitties, right? It's Veterinarians Day. No, it's not Veterinarians Day. It's Veterans Day. Gene says, I'm Randy's conservative brother-in-law. Hey, Gene, how you doing? One of his greatest accomplishments came when he lost his job back east due to district cutbacks. It was tough on him. Instead of depending on the government, he pulled himself up by his values, found a great opportunity in Phoenix. Proud of who he is and how he lives his values. I did not know that. William is in the Cayman Islands, listening to the best president ever speak in South Korea. Keep up the good work. Hey, William, in the Cayman Islands, that's where they hide all their people's money, right? Could you find me a couple of bucks and send some over? Just a few. Hide money in the Cayman Islands. Glenn says, I loved it, Rusty. Right man for the right job. Glenn, thank you for your service. I'm glad you served before me. Thank you. Don says, my dad really enjoyed the show. Thank you, Dad. She quit working to take care of him. Oh, Don, that's very honorable. Someone says, I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an American. I'm a patriot. I'm a Christian. I'm so sick of these lies and the criminal behavior being celebrated and the media supporting it all. I don't get it either. I don't get when it became, well, I do know when it became cool to not love America. It was Vietnam era. It was the 60s dopers. Same people running the country now. Sorry, I know there's a lot of good baby boomers. There are. But you have what was before them they call the greatest generation. You ask me, the baby boomers were the worst generation. Most selfish SOBs. No, not every single one of them. But as a whole, you baby boomers screwed things up big time. You've caused a lot of damage. People that caused the most damage? FDR with all the dang programs, LBJ doubling down on them, and then the baby boomers. And how do we fix our country from those things? I do not know. You think I'm wrong? Tell me. Tell me. By the way, share this video right now, would you? Share it. Share the video. Share it. Tell people to listen. I'm telling the truth out here, whether you like it or not. I'm doing it. Brian checking in. Janet is a Wisconsin proud. James says, we've been raised on patriotism since the 13 colonies lived it. We fought for it. It's never stopped being proud to be American. God bless you all. Dennis is a veteran who served 5 tours in Iraq, Afghanistan as a medic with the 75th Ranger Regiment. I believe in honor, truth, integrity, family, and country, and I will defend all at all costs. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know the rest of us do too. How's your blood pressure? Are you one of the millions of Americans that has high blood pressure? Or are you doing okay? I hope you're one of the ones that doesn't. Or maybe you're taking high blood pressure medication your doctor's got you on. That's okay, but I don't know about you, but I'd rather not have to take all the pills. That's me. It's a device here. It's called the Zona Plus. Zona Plus. I've got it upside down. The Zona Plus. And what you do is you turn it on. Got one right here. You turn it on. See, it says Zona here. And it says, welcome user 1, rest for a second. And then it's going to squeeze as hard as you can. So I'm going to squeeze it. I'm squeezing. You can see the number. Stop. Okay, stopped. Rest. Then what it's going to do, it's going to tell me to squeeze at a certain point. Squeeze. Okay, I got to squeeze in the left hand. So basically what they're doing, it's setting. There we go. Stop. It's setting how much I'm supposed to squeeze. Why? Because they have found, okay, where it says squeeze now, it's telling me how much to squeeze. They have found that when you squeeze at a certain temperature, see what it's doing is I'm trying to hold this particular, at a particular pressure. And what it's doing, I can feel it. It's building, you can see it's building the muscles here. It's making my veins bigger, which is going to lower my blood pressure. And you do this for about 12 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and it lowers the blood pressure and does it as much as the medicine, they say. And it's been found by a number of different colleges and universities, and there's been studies all over the place. It is an amazing device. It is easy to do and hard to do at the same time. And I try to do it every day, and I was getting close to high blood pressure. I was getting there. And I'm telling you, this device works, and it has taken me out of that high blood pressure area. You can do the same for you, too. Go to zonaplus.com, zonaplus.com, and use code word RUSTY. You get $50 off, okay? Zonaplus.com, zonaplus.com. Dawn has shared the video. Brian's saying hi. Daniel says, thank you for your service, Dennis. Galvin says, I hate Democrats. And we don't want to use the word hate. You may not like them. You don't want to say hate. Too much corruption. Benghazi destroyed. Emails, meeting in airport tarmac, rigged primaries, fusion, GPS, etc. Yeah. I'm tired of the corruption. But it's not just Democrats. That's the problem. The party that's not supposed to be corrupt are the Republicans. They're not supposed to be. And the problem is they won't clean up their act either. And that's why they got their butts whooped tonight. And you know what? As much as I wish they hadn't, they deserved it. They did. They deserved it. Daniel says, I should check it, Rusty. I find myself yelling at the TV too much when I flip the channel to CNN. Yeah, just go to zonaplus.com. Find out more about that great device. And one other thing I'd really like you to check out, especially if you've got kids or grandkids, it's called thetoymaker.com. And it's folding paper toys that you actually could make yourself. You just download them. And you download the toys from the website. They sent me a bunch of things to make. I'm the least creative guy when it comes to folding and coloring. So I'm the worst. Oh, look at this. They've got a great thing called the the Math Carnival. And it's basically a very cool thing. 12 easily downloadable, easy to assemble toys that help with math skills. Math skills, reading, holidays. There's all kinds of cool stuff. So do yourself a favor if you would, please. You got Thanksgiving coming up. We just had Halloween. Surprise. Hey, Kwanzaa's coming up. You don't want to miss that. Right? We got the big Kwanzaa celebrations. Oh, that's right. Christmas is on the way, too. Which is in every store today. Oh, I went to Target. You want to know what the cool thing already is? I went to try to get it. The cool thing is the 12 Socks of Christmas Harry Potter edition. I know. 12 Socks of Christmas. It's a box. It's like $15. And I went to go buy them. Every Target I found sold out. And there was like 5 of them that said they had it. So I drove like an idiot. I drove like 35, 40 miles to go to a Target, and they're like, oh, we've been sold out for days. Yeah, everybody else is sold out too. Well, why is it online? Say you have them. Yeah, I don't know, sir. I'm sorry. So be careful with that. Bob thinks gun range will relieve stress and lower your blood pressure too. Yes, it would. Let's see. Dawn says, great show tonight. My dad wants to see you live. Is it live or live? Live, I'm living. Randy says, oh my God, CNN. Let's talk about Don Lemon, a double UGG. Do we have to? I don't want to talk about Don Lemon. Jan says, loves the show, loves the opinion from Kansas City, Missouri. Jan, do me a favor. Go to the best barbecue. Okay, let me just ask Jan first to see if she's right. What is the best barbecue in the world? First of all, we know Kansas City does have the best barbecue. I know that's fighting words in a lot of places. Where is the best barbecue restaurant in Kansas City? And I will tell you if you're right or wrong in just a second. Richie's from Indiana. Luann's there checking in. Thank you. Brian, thank you for checking in. Hurry up, Jan. Best barbecue in Kansas City. I know the answer. And by the way, my opinion's the only one that matters. And don't say, oh, it's my backyard or my grandma's. You can't do that. I'm talking about a real Kansas City barbecue restaurant. I'll give her a minute. Okay, let me tell you one quick story. Can I tell you one quick barbecue story? As you can tell by looking at me, I'm a big barbecue time guy. By the way, Jonathan checking in, first-time listener. Jonathan, you rock. Share the video. Thumbs up me. Give me some hearts. Give me some love, please. Would you please let people know about the video? I'm going to wrap things up in just a minute. Okay, here you want to hear one of my favorite. Barry Solomon watched from the Cayman Islands too. Rusty, greatest president, just wrapped it up in South Korea. Cool. All right. Let me give you one of my favorite business stories. All right. So I have a friend, and his dad, they lived in Kansas City, and his dad was a psychiatrist. And one day they're sitting around, and his dad says, you know what, Rusty? He says, you know what, son? I'm going to make $1 million. Well, how you going to do it, Dad? I don't know, but I'm going to make $1 million. Okay. So he doesn't know how he's going to do it, and one day they're in a park in Kansas City. And the dad is looking at all of the picnic tables. And he notices a picnic table over there, ketchup and mustard. Another place, ketchup and mustard. Another table, ketchup and mustard. Another table, ketchup, mustard, ketchup, mustard, ketchup, mustard, ketchup, mustard. Every table is ketchup and mustard. I got it. I know how I'm going to make $1 million. How are you going to do it? I'm going to mix ketchup and mustard and make it one bottle. And I'm going to call it Musjip. Now, he could have went with cat turd, but he went with Musjip. So he has a regular Musjip, a dill Musjip, a sweet and sour Musjip, a barbecue Musjip, a spicy Musjip, and he puts it in stores. And I know it's a big shock, but Musjip doesn't do as well as he had hoped. So after a couple of years, my friend says, well, Dad, you made a run at it. Musjip is not tearing the world on fire, setting the world on fire. But Why don't we focus on one of them? Right? Your barbecue's pretty good. Your barbecue sauce is pretty good. So what if we change the name, get rid of Muschip, and we focus on the barbecue sauce and change the name? Okay, son, well, what do we call it? I don't know. Let's see. You're from Kansas City. And it's your masterpiece. What if we call it KC Masterpiece? And they did. And they didn't end up selling that KC Masterpiece for $1 million. They sold it for $25 million. And the end of the story, and a good story had by all. I just want one of those. I'll be happy. Jan says best barbecue in Kansas City's Arthur Bryant's. You are close, Jan, but you are wrong. Best barbecue in Kansas City is, how may I help you? Gates & Sons. But thanks for playing. Glenn says, I keep asking the same thing, getting referred to St. Joseph, Missouri. Daniel says, the answer, Rusty, is in Texas. Texas is okay. I like Texas barbecue. I'll eat Texas barbecue all day long. But the best barbecue place on the planet, if you ask me, is not that place in Austin. What's his name? Franklin's Barbecue. It is not. It is Gates Barbecue in Kansas City. Nope, Don, it's not Lexington, North Carolina barbecue. Sorry. Best ribs are at Guy and Mays in Williamsburg, Kansas. You are wrong, David. It is Gates & Son. No, nobody else could have an opinion, only me. What a jerk. I'm being a big old jerk. I'm sorry, I'm teasing. We want to thank our great sponsors for sponsoring this great. Jan says, first time I disagree. I'm teasing. That's the one thing. You want to start a true modern day American Civil War? Start talking about barbecue. That might do it. Jonathan sharing the love in Boston. We appreciate it. Do me a favor if you would please and support our sponsors tonight. Probiogen, the Probiogen Advantage. It is a great product. This is the stress and mood balance probiotic. We all need probiotics. It really does make a difference. And this one helps your mood and your stress. Wax RX. Clean out those ears. Maybe the Democrats could do that. We get some politicians paying more attention to the people instead of just themselves. You can now clean your ears at home with a system like doctors use. Go to waxrx.com. Use my name, Rusty. Zona Plus. Zona Plus. Zona Plus. You've got high blood pressure. It is a silent killer. It is a deadly killer. And it affects women just a couple of percentages more than men. And you can help yourself and help a loved one. This is a great Christmas present. How about giving somebody the gift of life instead of a stupid tie? Johnny's Brisket in Republic of Texas. Daniel says, you knew it was fighting words. Yes, it is. The barbecue is always fighting words. Anyway, zonaplus.com. Use my name, Rusty. Code word Rusty. Save $50. You'll be glad you did. And the nice folks at the toymaker.com. Toymaker.com. Go and sign up for the newsletter, would you please? Let them know what it is that you, who you are, and let them send you a free monthly paper toy update for free. It's fun. They're awesome things. They're awesome toys. Remember, kids don't spell love L-O-V-E. No, they spell it T-I-M-E. They spell it time with you. So go to thetoymaker.com, download some toys, some great toys, the holidays, free toys, the book, the Math Carnival, or whatever, and show your loved one some love. Would you do that? Thank you very much to our great sponsors. Thank you to Right Wing News for powering us. I'm live every night, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West, unless I have something better I want to do. Don't forget the podcast of Rusty Humphries Rebellion, iTunes, Stitcher, and other great places. And I think that's about it. See you tomorrow night. May God bless you. May God bless America. I'm Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. Doobie doobie Scooby Doo. Doobie doobie doo. Doobie Scooby Doo. Ba doobie doobie doo. Yeah.